I'm not your friend or anything, damn. You think that you're the man, I think therefore I am. I'm not your friend or anything, damn. You think that you're the man, I think therefore I am.
Stop. What the hell are you talking about? Get my pretty name out of your mouth. We are not the same with or without. Don't talk about me like how you might know how I feel. Top of the world, but your world isn't real. It wasn't ideal. Fine. I really couldn't care less, and you can give him my best, but just now. I'm not your friend.
Just a show full of pretty people. A show full of pretty people. Hello, hello, pretty people out there. We are here. We are back. Miss y'all. Back like we never left. Here to discuss a new show. Here to talk about the Shards. Ashley, how are you feeling? Looking good, smelling good. I can't smell you, but I know she smells good. How are you feeling? Are you ready to get into the Shards? And muted per usual.
I am. I'm ready to talk about it. I hope everyone is having an amazing Saturday. Feeling delightful. Yeah, ready to get into this 80s teen drama of it all, Tyra.
Girl, 80s teen drama. Y'all, welcome in here. We're always happy to have you. Be sure to hit that like button and all of that good stuff and show us some love in the chat because it's Saturday. Okay, just because it's Saturday and it's women's. It's women's. Now, getting over here, overall thoughts. My expectations might have been cute. Okay. They might was cute. They might was a little high. Just a little bit. These are some of my favorite movies. I love a good Less Than Zero. I love good American Psycho. So when we get over here with the author, have I read his books? No. But I've been over there with Bret and his movies and whatnot. And unfortunately, with Ryan Murphy, I was like, oh, this is up his alley. This is very much so up his alley. So it should fit like a glove. But it seems like we've come here and he acting all reserved. I said, well, okay. You being cute around the edges, Ryan. I hope it's just for the first 2 episodes. It's just right now, it's just beautiful gowns. And I'm gonna say it's just beautiful gowns just because I just feel like we go over here and we use this 80s safety net. And I enjoy a good 80s moment but y'all cheat because then it means, the music on the show is going to eat down. Okay. The imagery is going to eat down because we're in the 80s. And who doesn't love a good 80s moment? But the moment you go over here, and why I said they should be agreeable with one another if Ryan Murphy is going to take this on, the homosexuality of it all, the homoerotic undertones of it all, baby. He loved some of that. I said we're in good company. But when we take that and you get 80, so we're going to have all of this excess and yuppie, rich, old money, the drug culture, the sex, all the references. There's MTV, there's Scarface, there's, the mall. It's very safe and it leaves him to not really have to reach. Yeah, I knew Ryan Murphy win, okay? I knew Ryan Murphy win. So sometimes I just want him to give us a little bit more. But it's like, I'm going to say a little bit of everything. I didn't watch this and get, okay, this feels like, the Shards. No, it feels like a little bit of Rules of Attraction, a little bit of American Psycho, because we know, y'all might know the books. I know the movies. These are my movies. I've seen these movies countless times, especially A Less Than Zero and American Psycho. And there's so many references and moments and callbacks to the 80s. And I really want to get into the book and how we're going to relate that and what makes this so much different from all the movies and things that we've seen before. I don't really want Less Than Zero. I don't want American Psycho. I want the Shards. Ashley, overall thoughts?
Yeah, like this is fine. It's Ryan Murphy. We knew there was going to be a level of like homoerotica, like cat and mouse. We knew that. It really felt to me like immediately opening, I was like, oh, who is our little Ryan Felipe looking like Topher Grace over here? Like I got Cruel Intentions vibes. I got like just those 90s like teen adultification movies where they were going to manipulate somebody. But now we have it, and there's this backdrop of like these serial unalivings going on all around them. Like I'm not mad at the premise. I like a cute little who done it. Like I hope it suspends our belief and we get a shock at the end of it. Other than American Psycho and Less Than Zero that I actually just watched in the last year, I haven't seen The Rules of Attraction or any of that. I did read up a little bit on Bret, and he says that like this is his fictional autobiographical life. And I think the thing is when we meet Ryan Murphy over here in an adaptation and it's not his original property, I have noticed, like we noticed it with Love Story, he does try his best to kind of support the original vision. I don't know what Bret wrote in that book, but I know that in real life he's a homosexual. Clearly, there's a lot of predatory things he potentially experienced because there's a ton of predatory things going on over here. I think what I found the most interesting was how much of like DL culture he was trying to expose in these first two episodes around like, the casting couch and these men in Hollywood and, living these kind of double lives or whatever. I wasn't mad. Like I said, it reminded me a lot of the Menendez brothers. If you watched that monster, that season of it, it feels exactly the same. And I will never go down Ryan Murphy's throat about his period pieces. I think he does an exceptional job, especially in the 80s, with capturing the essence of it. So I'm going to reserve final thoughts until we get through this season, because right now it's pretty, it's beautiful gowns. Everybody look good. I said, that lady looks like Cindy Crawford. And they were like, oh, that is Cindy Crawford's daughter. I said, oh, okay. And then you have the Gerbil King's son here. Like, listen, the things are going to happen, and I'm just buckling up for the ride, but I wasn't mad at the first two episodes.
You're just going to leave Richard over there with that gerbil every single time. You're not going to let him live it down. Like, oh, man. Yeah, but I like, these are like my, like, American Psycho and Less Than Zero is my ish. So if you're going to come over here and play, you have to deliver. You can't be a cheap, imitation. You gotta be original too. Like you can't set me up over there with Love Story, and I know that he really didn't have too much to do with Love Story, but that's why we have writers, and that's why we get help. Get somebody in here to help you, bro. Get some help. But starting, I guess, with our characters and working our way up to our boy. The serial killer and the trawler of it all is a character all on its own. I'm tired of Ryan. Okay. I'm really trying with Ryan, but it's like he gets a fixation on one thing, and it seems like for 5 years straight, it's just been serial killer city. We can't really have a thought of a show or a series. It's Ed Gaines, it's Ted Bundy, it's this and that one in Dahmer. I'm like, okay, so we're over here, and I'm like, what's new, Pussycat? But I guess he tried to be a bit different. There's this fixation not only with Ryan but with our lead here, and hey, you kids today, you'll never know. Not only did we have to survive all of these things, and it was so different, and we're getting a lot of voiceover of someone reflecting on a time when. So I said, okay, clearly you survived. You survived. You're making iPhone and current cultural references, but it's very much this was the age of the serial killer, and we are getting into this trawler who is now attacking all teens, what seems to be at this moment teen girls. We get a whole bunch of calling cards in this episode. It's very, have you checked the children? The babysitter vibe. We're calling, we're breathing on the phone. We're doing weird stuff in the house. We're taking all the animals, doing things with fish and reattaching, very graphic things that are very central to, okay, we know exactly who you are. You're going to make yourself a distinctive, separate killer. But we're also getting that I didn't feel like was as well fleshed out, like these, I guess, current like cult killers that are also kind of on the loose, and it's kind of up in the air on whether or not the killing is happening from the cult or from this separate killer, this man, running around. I want a bit more. I want a bit more. Could have been a little more graphic to me, but that's just my personal opinion because the animal thing is odd. I know that it's supposed to be distinctive, but to see some kitten titties, I say, oh, I ain't asked for that. I didn't ask for that. I do enjoy a gruesome situation, but I also want it to make sense. I guess we'll get more into the distinction between these two serial unalivers in this cult or how they intersect, but I want a little bit more from the serial killer other than a lot of breathing on the phone. Ashley.
I mean, I like that we kind of have that as a backdrop, and it had me questioning in the first 2 episodes. Okay, is it this new guy? Like, no, that's too obvious. Maybe it's Bret. Maybe he's dissociating and doing this. Like, I like having those thoughts, but I will say that I agree with your assessment of the actual like bodies and play. It gave very much grotesquerie. It gave very much like we're just gonna kind of rehash some stuff we've already done before. I like the idea though of it being like a Manson-esque group that's out there simultaneously running behind, and it just happens to coincide. But it's there's too much happening that's on the nose for it to be anything external. I think our serial unaliver is just riding the coattails of whatever else has been going on, but he's exacting his own mission. Once we got to the end of the episode 2 and we saw Matt B, I was like, okay, because we knew he was going. This is somebody within this friend group that we know. Like I said, I'm not here for the gore, or so that didn't bother me that there was a lack of it. But he makes everything grotesque. So it did remind me of grotesquerie in terms of the placement, and we're attaching different parts onto different people. They can miss me with all of that. What I was really hoping for was there to be like a through line with our victims. Like, what all did they have in other than being girls and teenagers? What is like the MO? Whenever there's a serial unaliver, there's an MO. There's like a type of person that they're targeting. Like, I think if we're going to lean into it being serial, since Ryan wants to do all things serial unaliver, let's go all the way with it. Also, the little freak hippie commune thing out in the desert, that just really threw me for a loop. I said, is this just for fun? Like, why are we over here, right? Like, why are we over here? Like, what is...
Well, that's the thing. There's no real identity. It's like, oh, this is a template of things that the cults or 80s, like we're going to have the pentagram and the bonfire and occult things in the LSD. But it's like, well, I'm going to separate myself and be a different type of serial killer in this series because I sewed, poodle heads onto human shoulders. Like, I'm like, what? What? I don't know. I need something else. I need something else. It's not interesting. What would have made this interesting for me? Because what I got a lot from this, I was like, ooh, I need to go rewatch Heathers. If this was satire and this show didn't take itself as serious, I might be having a better time. This is very Heathers coded to me in so many ways with certain shots, imagery, and references that we got here. And it could just be the 80s and I guess the yuppie culture of the era. But just how unserious it is because you have, of course, the excess and we're rich and our parents are never home and we can do as we please. And yeah, they're off the grid and we're living, lifestyles of the rich and famous, sex, drugs, and rock and roll all the while we're like 16, 17 years old and we're just getting the senior year. But it's how unserious they're taking this. It's like, yeah, somebody's on the loose. The trawlers on the news. If you're out and about and you're solo, you might get got. And they just could care less. And I know it's supposed to be like, well, why would we give a damn? We're just that rich and we're just that aloof. If it's not about, I guess, the cocaine in my face, I could give a damn. But if it was like slapstick satire and we have a reason not to take it seriously like a Heathers, I might could rock with it a little bit more. I think that would have been a switch up for the whole serial killer thing. And I guess in reference to Ryan Murphy, like I could have, if this was Heathers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. If this was
yes, if this Sharon Doherty.
Yes, if this was that. And it was just all of the the unaliving culture and the self-eliminating, and it was just so unserious over there, but it was very pungent in the points that it was making about the culture and how the people and the students they just didn't give a damn because it's not involving me. I could be here for that, but here you need to be 10 toes down about what's going on in the community. They're targeting the people like your neighbor, and they're like, well, is the water warm in the pool? I'm like, do you want to live or not? But let's get over here with little Debbie. I say, oh, Michelle Pfeiffer and her daughters. Michelle Pfeiffer and Scarface and her daughters with this hair. Baby, when mama hit them stairs, I said, that ain't Michelle. That's not Michelle. It's just very Scarface-esque. Baby, I thought she was going to come down in the elevator with the music they were playing. It was very Scarface referencey. But I'm hoping that this isn't just simply the Bret show. I know that he's the center, but I do want all of the other characters to have their own, individual traits and storylines, and it's not just, I guess, a body count situation. Because so far, it's all blood, hair dye, some Coca-Cola and some sex and some validation. Debbie, the now is a river in Egypt, and your husband is gay. She know that boy gay. Anybody walking could see. Child, when Bret took down them little shorts and he was about to get into bed with her, I say, look at that little shimmy. She's like, yeah, just give it to me. I said, give it to you where? Give it to you where? I don't know where this is gonna go exactly, because clearly we got Susan down there, little baby Crawford. She's jealous. She wants to have her own footing and standing in the group outside of her. I think she rides horses or something like that. But I think her main thing is going to be maybe getting over who her parents are in reference to her, or more so her mother, and not becoming her mother. But I want to know, are we seeking something out and we just so happen to be crossing paths with somebody who's more similar to our dad, or is it a different motive? And I know that he's gay. She can't not know. I'm just not accepting that. But like mom said, you are me. It's cute. The looks are giving. Everybody here is very accurate and very beautiful, but I do want more from these characters. I feel like she's seeking validation, but if you are, why are we so, centered on getting it from Bret and getting it everywhere in any way, in any hole? But he's clearly a homosexual. Ashley.
I think she's really that dingy. I think until her mom has that conversation with her, like later, like, well, he's awfully, uninterested. Like you said, I think until mom brings that up to her, of course, out of mom's jealousy, that's kind of the first time she's getting a whiff of it. And I think if I have any major notes or critiques is the women characters on the show, because they are so dingy. Like, they're just so non-impactful. Like, it just seems like they're just there just to be there. And I get it. It's centering around Bret and, everything that's going on in his mind in this book that he's writing. But I really wish we had some strong women in the series, and they're just not. Poor Debbie is just an outcome or a result of her environment, like just an outcome of a product of her environment. And I don't see much substance to her at all. Maybe that'll come, other than her being a very cute, like, scream queen at some point throughout this. I really don't see where she has much agency or like movement within the series. Like, girl, beautiful down. She doesn't look like a high schooler, but she's beautiful. And the dynamic with her and her mom could be really interesting. Also, mom being super insecure. Honestly, mom is more interesting than any of the teen girls, because it's like, I know my husband's gay. I know everything that's going on with him. And Bret, are you his next boy toy? You look like the type. You look like the ones that he has out there beside the bushes. But also, I'm chasing my youth. I used to be somebody. Everything is still now. I'm going to go meet with, Donatella or whoever she was meeting with, because I still want to be relevant. I still want to be somebody. Again, this like nose wide open for Bret, who, girl, is not paying you anything, is beyond me. Because I think he says early in episode 1, the chick who plays Cindy Craw, you said her name is Susan.
Yeah.
That's the one woman he would actually want to be with in this life if he had to be with a woman. So it's like, girl, you're just a placeholder, honey. And I hate that for her. I want more for her. Like I said, maybe she'll get some agency later, but she's a dullard. She's so dull. It's so dry. Even the sex was dull and dry. I said, baby, what? I think the most pumped she got was when he was thinking about old boy across the way. I just...
He didn't even give he gave nothing.
Nothing,
Thomas, he didn't give anything. She's like, oh my God, get drunk more often so you could just give it to me.
Okay.
I really hope that she's not just here to be a scream queen and die, because that's what she gives. She gives, running through the house and dainty little, like, oh my God, please don't kill me, I want to live type of energy.
Yeah.
I want more than that. I was really hoping that she knew that he was gay and she's getting something out of this that we don't know about. Because if not, then why? Why are we here? I just something more would be nice. Something more would be nice. But she's cute. High school, I don't know, but she's cute.
She's cute. They're adorable. Yeah.
Now look at here. Speaking of cute, Cindy, come get your child. I said, damn.
That's what I said.
Oh my God. Girl, I didn't know. I didn't look up, any two things on this show because I just didn't find it necessary. But I said, damn, she looks like Cindy Crawford.
That's what I said too. The girlies were like, oh yeah, that's her daughter. I said, huh?
Oh, okay. it hasn't been on my radar. I'm not following, the Nepo babies to know. And I only know, Richard's Gearsome because we just did Euphoria. But I said, oh my God. Once again, beautiful. She's beautiful.
Gorgeous.
It is very. I just saw that. Oh, remember that OG Pepsi commercial with Sydney? I said, girl, if you don't go grab a Pepsi now, very, very pretty. She's Little Miss Everything. Prom queen. She's studious, straight A's. She might be valedictorian and then some. And if you don't want a beer, which is going over there with her bestie Bret, I think he like, oh, it's just. Like you have your little eccentric gay bestie. Like I don't want to be with her. I want to be her. I think he's just enamored and amazed. Like you ain't marrying nobody. But you don't want to get to nobody unless it's to fit in and just for the culture of the 80s. And I don't want to be outed. You don't actually want to be with Susan. You want to be Susan. But Susan could give a little bit more. I feel like Susan is going to be more so an instrument or a vessel between Bret and what's his name, Robert. Because, they have some type of possessiveness. And, if I can get under his skin in any way, she is attractive. She's cute. I want to F her. Like, I can get at her. But what are you going to do about it? That type of thing. Once again, I don't want these women here just in the capacity or the affliction of the man. Like, make sure we have these beautiful gowns and there's a brain to back it up, especially if she's supposed to be smart. She seems the one who's most receptive to Robert, and the principal told me X, Y, and Z, so I'm gonna make him feel welcomed. And she clearly knows. I don't know why Debbie doesn't know, but Susan knows. She said, "Yeah, what you and old boy over there whispering about, Bret? Huh? What happened? Your little summer flings over summer loving? Because I know you're gay. I know you're gay." She clearly knows. I don't know if that's gonna come out in the wash and be a thing, but other than that. She's a straight A student who loves to F on her man and loves a good don't you want me down by the jacuzzi. Other than that, we don't know. Ashley?
Her and baby Star-Lord, I'm annoyed by. Because first of all, they're really gassing it up like he's so fine. And I'm like, her boyfriend, I don't see it. Like I'm like, where the fine at?
Nobody. There's no fine shit. Let's start there. Outside, why y'all trying to put them girls in the back? The boys? There is no fine shit in the room with us.
Our lead looks like Topher Grace. Like, I was like, is that the 70s show son the whole time? I'm like, that looks like the 70s show boy. Like, and then I just, like I said, back in my day, we had Ryan Phillippe, all right? And cooking with hot grease. Listen, we had some of them ones back in the day. But no, immediately when I saw her, I said, beautiful. Only thing she was missing was the mole, or that's Cindy. Cindy spit her out literally and said, come child, come be beautiful. Come be gorgeous with me. But no, again, I was hoping for more from her because, again, she's like student body president. She's giving, all of the assembly announcements. Like, I'm that girl. I'm going to be somebody. And it still just falls really, really flat because are you going to be naive? Are you going to fall under this new kid spell like everyone else is seemingly? And Bret, again, has this kind of territorialism. Like, I've known her since we were kids. Like, that's mine. You can't over there. And then we have this other creep, I just want to taste her little coochie. I was like, what the hell are you talking about? You freak. And it was like, okay, but I think all of the women here are in service to the male characters. And I just think that's how the author probably intended it. I'm thinking back to both American Psycho and Less Than Zero, and everybody was in service to these raggedy boys. Like all the women were there as props, right? And so I don't really, unfortunately, see her being more than that. Again, another cute victim at some point in the series. But yeah, she didn't move me, but she was beautiful. And I don't blame her for that. I blame just the writing and, the story that they're telling for that. But all of these women are in service to these boys here.
Oh, I really hate that. I do. I really hate that. Like I'm hoping that there's something, because it doesn't seem like her and Debbie are besties. It feels like there's some jealousy there. So maybe like give us something. You put these people here to be beautiful. That's cool. And even like a Nepo situation, just so we could sit here and eye and go, oh my God, it's the 80s and she looks just like her mom. That's only going to take us so far with so many episodes. Episodes 3, I need her and Debbie to be doing something.
Yeah, I mean, I think I like your take on it. Like, if it could have been a male Heathers, that could have been really dope. That could have been really, really, really cool idea. But yeah, it's not giving that. Our lead's not giving that he's capable of giving that at this point. But we'll see.
I don't know what goes through his head, because we watch it and we have all the tools. I just feel like they need to call us and give us a job.
We can help you, baby. We can help you.
Let's get into this predator and his henchman. I said, sir, please. Now, this said a whole lot about Bret, because Bret knows exactly who this man is and what he wants. He's like, oh my God, he's my idol. Like, oh, he's just prolific and he's well known. He's something I aspire to be. I was like, that? He just looks sleazy. I said, oh, you gonna find yourself in a Ryan Murphy project, sir. He gonna show up for that check. Now, all the way down to the pool. I say, you couldn't wait. You sicko. It's very casting couch, very, if you do something for me, I'll do something for you. Very, very brazen. It's like it's an open secret. Everybody knows. Everybody knows. Baby wifey coming on downstairs with the henchman, very much giving handler, like, oh, let me get her out of here. I don't know what the henchman's agenda is. It kind of feels like he's an omen or like a warning, but also the cleanup man, like, oh, you wore that little cute uniform. I told you. See, I'm trying to get you this gig, but do know this is not a situation that's something for nothing. Or come on up here, miss. I'm going to give you your happy pills and your drinks so you can go all lay down so the man can get back to his business. He's here to just have a look. I say, Ryan, you going to put somebody somewhere for absolutely nothing. He's here, with the half, dye job in the situation just to be a look and kind of give some androgyny. But I'm hoping he has something to offer. I'm really hoping we dig into the idea of the whodunit. And we play around with these characters, and it's, well, could it be her dad? Could it be the henchman? Like he is a little weirdo, I really don't know. But here, with the way that he's moving and as bold as he is to sit down with this young man, as it seems like he does on a regular basis. Yeah, I know you're with my daughter. Are you treat my daughter well? Does she please you? Do you like men? Are you open? Do you go both ways? Like, you heard what I said. Like, it's very open, but don't tell my daughter or anybody else that we have this conversation. It's more so kind of up in the air how Bret feels about it. I'm like, Bret gives me, well, if ain't nobody looking, if ain't nobody looking, I'm gonna do what I gotta do. You want the rights to my book, my writing already? I could be set for life. They make it very clear, like, Bret is a not so much a clout chaser, but he wants to make a name for himself. He wants to be somebody, and he wants to be, a notable writer and a name. And if this can get me a leg up, I might put my leg up. It's very much so that, but just the fact that this dirty, dingy man with his ratty hair would proposition not only a child, but your child's mate is disgusting. I hope he gets everything that's coming to him. He needs to get killed next if he's not the assailant. Ashley.
Yeah, then you got that whatever Schneider lookalike coming in there. I said, is he trying to talk about the Nickelodeon guy when that big fat producer came in? It was like, yeah, I had a meeting with the other boys over there. I'm like, you nasty freak factory over here. Let's start with like Andy Warhol-esque, because I said, this is a choice. Because why do y'all have him looking like Andy Warhol? What are we doing? And I think so too. I think he's the harbinger of doom. I think he's there to take names and clean up messes, and to procure. I said, oh, he's the male Ghislaine, whatever. Like, you're the procurer of the boy meat. But also, let me give you this warning too, Bret. because are you sure you should really be here? Are you sure this is where you want to be? These are the things that you want to do. Now, my biggest shock is the fact that this is Wes Bentley, who's playing Debbie's dad, who's also damn Jamie Dutton from my good Yellowstone. And don't play with Jamie because Jamie got a bad rep. They created Jamie.
I've never watched Yellowstone. I solely really know him from Ryan Murphy projects because he's been there for quite some time.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but Jamie got a bad rap over there, Danny. I see you talking about Grimy and Yellowstone too, Jamie. They played with him. They made Jamie into who he was, but nevertheless, he's disgusting and vile over here. I want him to be eliminated. Toot sweet. Because I know it's going to get there. Ryan is going to put us in some uncomfortable situations. And I think the fact that Bret has this hunger and desire, like you said, just to be somebody outside of his family, outside of this school, outside of whatever. He's very wrapped up in what he has and who he is. Sometimes that makes people very susceptible to these types of traps, because what real director is going to say, I want to greenlight your project, like script unread. I haven't read your book. I haven't looked at it. I haven't done any of those things that I'm going to lock you in. Baby, he wants that Boochie Cat. And Bret, I fear he wants that Boochie Cat. I did enjoy the conversation back and forth that they were having, because this would have probably been one of his only first and safe places to come out in this moment, and he still decides that it's not a safe place. And I thought on Bret's part, that was kind of wise for him. But do I think this is the last interaction they're going to have? No, I don't. I think he's coming right over back there to Daddy Terry at some point with his knickers around his ankles at some point to get this book deal done. And I hate that for him. I really hate that for him. But what I will say, I think the dad's character is very interesting too, because it just goes to show you that there was never a thing in terms of time as far as who you could be publicly, as long as you had enough money and enough influence and enough whatever. He didn't give a damn who saw him, the boys he was with, his carrying on. He didn't care that his wife knew. So I think when you have that much money and that much prestige, it's a blanket and a shield to anything else. You can live and do whatever the hell you want to do without fear really of anything, especially in those days. And I think it's commentary just on what we're seeing play out a lot of times present day as well. But yeah, this was a hard watch.
I just, Ryan, please, we've had enough. That's all I'm gonna say. Don't please, Ryan, please
get started.
Do something else, please. This ain't one of them American horror grotesquerie situations. You ain't got to do all that. You don't have to do all of that. Now let's get over here with poor Matt. Like, I mean, Matt, did you ever like the boy? They didn't really give us too much time to kick it with Matt. Matt was such aloof. Yeah, I don't know. My fish tank's empty. Yeah, I don't know. My mom tastes good. Like, this is just a slacking, weed smoking, kind of drifting. I'm cut off in the pool house type of situation, and I become a victim. They're trying to set it up here as far as Bret, where we have to pretend and be something that we're not with Debbie. We get to go over here and be our true self, and we try to have in-depth conversations, and we're lingering in the bed, and he's comfortable and carefree to be who he is. With Matt's character, I will say, for Bret, this is really where I feel like we lean more into his duality and his me not trusting his ass. Because I say, who are you talking to? Who are you talking to? Like, it's very psychotic in that way. Outside of their initial meeting, and every little meeting with all the little gays here is very just don't blush, just keep it on the hush. Baby, summer's over, senior year is coming. Whatever we did together during the summer, that's it. Let's leave it on the playground. Baby, I'll see you at school.
So that's summer at band camp. Yeah, leave it there.
That's it. Matt did seem like I don't think he's out either. There's like, just, I guess it's known that he was in a relationship with the other guy at school, but I just wasn't sure who was completely out and who wasn't down there. But Bret seemed to be hitting everybody. But the moment that he's just really sure in the fact that, oh, you were definitely calling my house. It was you. I know it was you. And he didn't have a second thought about like, well, no, Bret would never do that. That's not in his personality. That's not the type of guy that he is. I know him. It was like, no, I know you did it. Like, we're over, like, get over it. it was the fact that he would even think that he would be capable of that, which was a whole lot, and more so Brett's response to him no longer wanting to be with him. It was a bit jilted. It was a bit, I'm gonna get you later. I was like, yeah, Brett, we can't trust you. And if you don't know anything about Brett and his books over there, he is the most unreliable narrator that you would ever want to meet. And I feel like that is quintessential with Brett. And he let his freak flag show with Matt for me, and why we shouldn't be able to trust him. Ashley.
Yeah, I don't know. This was very interesting to me because I thought Matt's character was interesting kind of in the moment, in that, you know, post-coital bliss, Brett is like, yeah, I don't think we should see each other like this school year. And immediately on Matt's face, you kind of saw like this sadness that he quickly pushes away, and like, yeah, well, this wasn't anything anyway. Like I'm trying to brush it over, but I got this overarching sense from his character, the couple scenes that we saw him, like that he was battling some sort of depression, maybe related to his sexuality and identity. I mean, for heaven's sakes, he's living in the pool house. He doesn't have a relationship really with his parents. It seems as though he was living a very solitary life outside of his random hookups and interactions. And I think when Brett says, yeah, I don't think we should see anything anymore, the quick defense was, well, this was nothing anyway. This was super casual. I don't think it was to him. I think he kind of felt away. And so in turn, I think it was easier when Gerbil's son comes over and is like, yeah, he's harassing you, he's calling all these people, he's doing all that, for him to buy into that and be like, yeah, he is. Yeah, he's doing that. He's just trying to torture me. He's just trying to make this worse. So I wasn't kind of mad at that. I think the most interesting part of the whole thing is Brett's tears. I was like, you are just such a child. Like, you're the one initially who told him, I don't think we should do this anymore. Like, nobody's going to love me. And we hear his narration about all his life, how this was his pattern and nobody ever loved him. So respectfully, go to hell. Like, you played with this little boy. And I think you might have been the caller. Like, it's not out of the realm of possibility to me that he is the killer and that he is the one who's doing all this heavy breathing in the phone. So, I mean, was Matt all the way wrong? Did Matt see a side we didn't see? Maybe we'll get flashbacks. Now, as far as this footballer with that terrible haircut, I don't know what his deal is. I thought he was, when in the preview trailer, the super trailer, it was talking about there was a man whore, and I thought that baby was the man whore. I don't know if his Bucci cat's for sale or not, but Brett done found all the open doors and have ravaged all the bread boxes, I think, in LA at this point. I don't know, but we shall see. But rest in peace, Matt. But as soon as Matt got crunk, I knew immediately when he was like, you did it, now get out of my life, get out of my house. I said, you're dead, buddy. You're next. I knew it instantly. And I'm like, dang, Matt, we didn't even really get to meet you. We didn't really get to know you.
I was going to say that you can't present a character and then immediately kill him off, like literally in the same episode. All of the both episodes could have been conjointed. We didn't really get a whole lot of time. If we really want to care and try to, well, I'm really undecided on whether Brett couldn't do that. There were so many moments like you kill a Matt episode 4, 5. You don't kill Matt if he was supposed to mean something enough for him to have them fake crocodile tears. Somehow nobody's ever going to love him. Like we didn't get time. They're just so like, I'm like, I don't know what's up with these shows. Like, are you in a rush? Where do you have to be at 4? Like, what's happening? Do you have somewhere to be?
Do we know how many episodes this season he's getting?
I don't even know.
I'll look it up.
I didn't even check, but it's like you don't have anywhere to be, especially if you know like Ryan is gonna cap. He's gonna give you, baby. It's like 50-minute episodes. You're gonna get this full episode. It all doesn't have to be beautiful gowns and just the excess and like look at my lavish life. Like it's beautiful people doing nothing a lot of the times. You could be doing something with that time that you have and fleshing these people out. So at least if you're going to kill them out, episode 2, we care. Nobody give a damn about the slacker. I was like, well, he's gone. Not the man whore. I should say he was a man whore.
It'll be at least 9 episodes. So
I don't know. You know, Ryan's good for at least a 10. Now look, I told y'all this over there in the Euphoria streets. You will not be throwing every time Dick and Ray and Nepo baby on me and trying to convince me that they're fine. You're not. Y'all little fine shits of this generation is just not fine. They're not for this, not for the world to stop the moment I'm watching The Shining, and you are too, and I'll remember it for the entire year moving forward into the next school year, because I saw you see me see you, and he just came in. He was, oh my god, he was so tan, he was so breathtaking, it was everything. I was moved by little baby. Fine. If this okay, fine, I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna let y'all have it. I need Robert to come at it. If you're gonna show up here in a blazer, in your school shirt, and patent leather pants, you're gonna have to deliver. When I tell you I need 80s yuppie deception, that's what I need. Okay? What is it? What is little baby from Pretty in Pink? What is that? What is that?
Oh, you're talking about Steph. We need a Steph. We need James Spader.
I need James Spader. I need James Spader. Where's the James Spader?
We need Steph. Blair. Yeah, we need that action.
Blair. You supposed to James Spader me.
Yeah.
Okay. I need you to show up with it and be formidable. But like I said, these are a lot of, fresh on the scene, Nepo babies still trying to find their footing in their delivery. But you better have talk smack and be able to back it up if you showing up here in leather pants and lies. But we show up. And yeah, I know that was you, right? Didn't I see you in that theater that one time? No, I don't know what you're talking about. That wasn't me. And this just not only just fiberglass, I'm just flabbergasted. It's just too much. She's like, but as cute as you are and as fine as you are and as attracted as you are, you're here for me. You're here to target me. You're here to tarnish my life and intercept your way into my friendship circles. And he's immediately watching him, damn near stalking him, following, because I know what you're up to. I don't even trust the fact that you were off living in what area? And you came all the way here to this school for what? You're zoned to this school. Like, it's just very that. They are setting Robert up here to be like, is it him? It's not Robert. It's never Robert. The way they have Robert, I saw you over there talking to, like, when he blew him a kiss right after he told him, I don't know who the hell you are. I don't know what you're talking about. I wasn't watching no Shining, but I'm gonna blow you a kiss and talk to all the boys that I know you're talking to. They're painting it as like, not only does he have intel and he's trying to weasel his way into the friends group and just be the charmer, but also I'm watching you. I know things about you that you wouldn't know. Like, how would you know to try to get into a Mark's face or get over here to where you're sitting at the table telling me about where my parents are? Why the hell do you know who's giving you this information? Who's doing all of this? But he's in the mall, but we're looking at fish tanks. They're trying their best to leave breadcrumbs as to say, well, it could be him. Well, he is a little psychotic. You see the way he was over there chilling when Video killed the radio star. You can't trust him. He's crazy. It's not sticking the way I need it to. If you're going to do cat and mouse, you have to deliver. You have to deliver and really have me in on it. There's promise here, but it's just not enough, not quite yet. You can have him say, I want to taste this and I'm gonna go after your best friend or the girl that you want, or tell me things about myself that you wouldn't know unless you're watching and you have this intel, like you could be the killer. There's this kind of this lure, this mystery around him, and he was in an asylum, or he was, coming from somewhere, or just maybe this troubled background. But it's just not enough for me to be entranced to go, oh, I wonder what he's going to do next, or really view him as an option, as this, I was going to say BTK killer child, this trawler, Ashley.
Yeah, I was saying the same thing. I was literally looking it up as you were talking about it, because I was like, where is the yuppie villainy at? Like, where is it? Like, he was going to kick down some doors. They might roofie you. They're going to slide with their no socks having selves and, collars popped with their linen suits. And let me show you. Give me some Blair energy, some Steph energy, some Blaine. Give me any of it that's going to make me loathe you and believe you. And that's actually going to deliver some steam heat, because don't get it twisted, in Pretty in Pink, Steph might have could have got, like, listen, I don't want to say too much. When he pushed up on Andy at that car, I said, oh, okay, like maybe Steph could have got it. But over here, I don't feel that. I think what makes like a good cat and mouse, or like will they, won't they, is that there has got to be steam heat. There has got to be two people that are attractive that's going to make the audience really buy into this, or at the very least, maybe not even attractive, but if they have really good chemistry, that can also kind of suck you into it. All of their scenes together fall extremely flat to me. This is like two brothers. Like, I don't get it. And I think they're trying to paint it from the first opening shot when they see each other at the movie theater, this long gaze. We're supposed to believe that they're hot in the butt for each other. And I don't get that. They seem like cousins, like brothers. Like, when they're in the same room, I don't get even the back and forth banter of like, I know who you are. Like, I know. And Bret, like, no, you don't. Like, it doesn't give me. Also, Gerbil's son, I'm not afraid of you. Like, I don't think, like, you don't scare me. There's nothing about you that screams, oh, he's going to ruin his life or he's going to do that. I think you have to meet it. And nepotism's fine when it works, right? Like, it's fine when it works. I just think here, you really have to cast the part for what we need in the show, not just because of the name. And no slight to Homer. He might be really good somewhere else. I just honestly feel like we could have had a no-name, really hot young man come in here, as Ryan is known to cast in the past. He'll find an unknown, find somebody to be in the role to do something that's actually going to deliver. But I think here, with really two mid, real basic boys, it's just not giving me. He doesn't give me enough intrigue or mystery to make me even really care about him. So like, immediately I'm thinking, oh, he could be the killer. I'm like, no, I don't want to believe it. That's too boring. Let's make Bret the killer in my mind, because that's going to make for a more entertaining story. And I hate that, because Homer, get some more roles, get under your belt, do your thing. This one, for me, the fashions were there though. Okay. Fashions there. It just didn't deliver for me. That part didn't. You're muted, boo.
I said, what in the butt? I said, always beautiful gowns. Always beautiful gowns, and nice music. Ryan is typically going to deliver there, even in the way it's kind of like, where is the cat and mouse? If you give me your intent immediately when I meet you. I thought that it was enough, and I thought it was cute. Like, oh, okay, he's acting like that wasn't him. Like, clearly I saw you in the movies, and it gives maybe putting me on notice, like, why would you lie? But he's very forward with his intention. It's like, yeah, I know your secret. I was like, okay. Okay. Like, I don't know where you go if it's like, you sure you don't know them? You sure you haven't been out like intimately? Like, are you gay? Like, well, yes. But it's very, I'm open, I'm brazen, I'm who you'll never be. I go both ways. I like a good cat and a good one of the boys. Like, it's just all of that. And I'm gonna, get at you and get under your skin and ruin life as you know it. I was like, but you're not. Are you? The best, I guess, thing that he said here was, oh, I got your number. Like, when you're looking at me or talking to me, you're really talking to yourself. I guess that says more about who Bret is and his personality, or whatever we're going to discover. But that's
another thing. Does he even really exist? Is he an alter ego? Maybe
that was my thing. That was my thing. I said, this is not how you work this. There's a way, because like, Ryan, man, you've been here for 100 years. The perfect thing to do, because I think everybody was immediately zeroed in on Bret. Like, really? If it's you, bro, just say that. But if we could do like the whole thing where is he a real person or isn't he? And you can have callbacks to the scenario, and it's like, oh, well, when this was happening, this was really there. This character never existed. This is, the duality or the other side of Bret. That would have been so good. But it's like, I mean, y'all already kind of, to me, kind of lifted up the umbrella a bit on him being, a real person. Because I'm like, if he's not, then how are we at the table introducing ourselves to everybody? Or are we really gonna like, oh, none of that ever happened, and he was just a part of his imagination in his dark half this entire time? That would be really, really interesting. But if we are doing that, we're already doing it wrong.
Well, if they're gonna use and when they could, if they use the book as a vehicle for that, like this has all been a story that he's
Yeah.
writing in the book, and that's not really his life. And then by the end, we see him living this really monotonous, humdrum high school experience, and this is the story that's being read from his book later. That could be interesting, but would that make for a compelling show?
Once again, that doesn't work either. That's what I thought that too. But I'm like, if we're gonna show him actively writing a book, he's always
writing a book in the book, right? Like, I mean, girl, you know,
like, I have to get home. Like, I could be bothered with any of his friends group. Like, why are we here? Why do we have to come watch this Heifer? Oh, my girlfriend. Why we gotta watch this whole ride horses? Like, why do I have to be here sleeping with you? If it's not about Mark and one of the boys down in Boys Town, I really could give a damn about. I would prefer to write my book. But it's like the idea works when you don't know that it's a book. Like, and it's like, oh, okay, bait and switch. He's been writing his book this entire time. None of this actually happened. But I'm like, they ruined it in the first episode. They ruined it already. I don't know where it goes. I'm hoping that we get a little bit more nuance in the next episode because it's going down like Mary J. Blige. But like immediately, okay, you don't give Bret the American Psycho voice and voiceover work and expect us to ride for him. I said, Patrick Bateman, please. Okay? It was very, I got to go return some videotapes. It was very, I thought he was going to get into his little regime down in the bathroom and go put on this little get his axe. I didn't know. It's very like this, like he's disassociating, and there's this weird duality to him, but they're trying to paint it as, well, it's just because I'm closeted and I have to be one way to the public and one way, privately, and this is my real lover. Meanwhile, I gotta pretend to actually like Debbie. But there's this unhinged, broken quality about him. First of all, like, him in this empty house because your parents are gone. Are they? Are you sure? They're gone wherever. So I'm left alone and left to my vices. But how he acts, like his compulsion, the sweating, and it's kind of painted as, well, he's just the only one in the friends group taking the idea that there is a serial killer and we should be on alert of that. Not only that, but the fact that this new kid is just showing up and infiltrating that we don't know, and it seems like he's personally trying to get at me, so I'm kind of on edge. But him grabbing the knife, him all outside, I say, what are you doing? What are you doing? It's something's wrong and off about it. It's too on the nose, but it's also doing absolutely nothing at the same time. I say, how do you even accomplish that? I really don't know. He has all like the hallmarks of someone who you can't trust. Not only are you unreliable, but you're a writer. And we're starting off with your voiceover and your version of events and what I experienced. I don't know why he would be of such importance for him to be targeted by a Robert. The best thing we could have done here was really make us guess whether or not it was Bert. Right now, I don't feel like it can be anybody but Bert. I'm like, if it's not actually Bert, then he's writing a book. That's all I got. That's all I got. And that's just too on the nose. I want more. From the way that he reacts when he's alone, how the high-speed chase of it all, following him, getting through the mall. I said, what the hell? What is this? I'm like, you guys are like 17 years old. You guys were 17. Between that, his reaction to when, Mark, said, don't kiss me. I don't want nothing to do with this. What you're going to do is, who the hell are you talking to? Tell me what I'm going to do and control me in this way. Between that and how obsessed he seems to be about just being, I guess, closeted versus how obsessed he is with this killer or lack thereof, something is falling short, and I need it to deliver. It needs to be more than him being the writer that we can't trust or the narrator that we can't trust. or oh well no, it's actually not him and there's actually a killer on the loose that has nothing to do with him or Robert. But how does that lend itself to their cat and mouse situation? Or does Robert even exist? I wish Robert did not exist, but I want to know. I don't want to know that he doesn't exist, but we've ruined that already just in the span of 2 episodes for me. Ashley.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I feel like, so when we first meet Bret and we start out with this really strong narration and it feels like a person who has a sense of everything and he kind of runs LA. And I was hoping that's what we're going to lead into, because if you watched this with us in the Discord, I'm like, okay, Ryan Phillippe entering the chat. Like, he's going to be him. He's going to be kind of, secretly manipulating and doing some stuff in this friend group. And then when it shows up and it's really not that, I was like, damn, like I really was hoping it was going to be one of those situations where he was like a puppeteer and like everyone was kind of, waiting on him and he was that one, whatever. But now enter Gerbil's son, I really felt like, okay, now if this isn't a real person, then this is the embodiment of everything he wants to be. So if they're trying to show us like, visually this idea of his two selves, that could be cool. But like you said, I don't know if they did enough in the first 2 episodes to set that up as a groundwork, because I could be down for that. Like, this is the physical embodiment of everyone I hope I was, this person that I purport to be, this image that I'm trying to give off. Unfortunately, Bret comes across as so insignificant and so small in these first 2 episodes. Like, I was like, at least have hubris and like on the outside, and then maybe you go home and cry at night. Right. But I can't have you crying at night and then losing your ish in public when you're confronted on the escalator in the mall. Like, I need you to pick a lane. I need you to stick with it. If we're going back to 80s, I want my villains in the 80s were villains.
Oh,
like, villains in the 80s were villains, male or female, cat or dog. You were going to know, and they had the damn courage of their convictions. They might go home and cry about it, but y'all were never going to see that. And I think that's what I was looking to for him. And then the confrontation was very anticlimactic for me. Like I said, it just felt like 2 brothers fighting, or like a older brother trying to bully a younger brother. And it just was completely lost on me, especially if these 2 are ultimately going to be love interests. I don't know. It seems more of a rivalry that they're trying to lean into, but I think there's a better way to do it. Bret, if this is your homeland and you know these people and this is your friend group and you're going to protect it, I need you to pull a stunt. I need you to pull a stunt. I need you to do something. I needed you to do something at that birthday party. What better time than to play in this man's face than to roofie him or do something at this birthday party to let him know.
Roofie, real bad.
I'm just saying, like, let me do something to show you who I am. Because all this yapping, we didn't do that. They didn't do that in the 80s, y'all. They weren't just yapping. It was about action. Let's get about that work. And I think that's what it's missing. But again, still very early in the seasons. I did look it up. It's saying it's a 9-episode season. We have 7 more episodes.
I said, where is the sweep the leg Johnny energy? Where is the Karate Kid? When I tell you them villains were vicious, we were going to sweep the leg.
Cobra Kai.
We were going to sweep the leg, Johnny. Why aren't we sweeping the legs anymore? Like, we are in the 80s. This is licensed to do whatever the hell you want to do at this point. And he's just doing that. It's like the moment he gets there, it's like he's cowering. But it's like, are you cowering, being confronted with who you really are? And he's not a real person. Like, it's just, I'm conflicted with how his arc and who he is lends itself to the serial killer aspect of the show. It feels like a hanger on, or like a different, like, oh, that's just fun to attach because I'm in my serial killer bag and I want to talk about serial killers. Like, okay.
Well, tell me this, because you watch the other monster series, Dahmer, and when I look at this guy at times and moments, I'm like, okay, was he trying to do like a parallel to that? I don't know, but I still haven't watched Dahmer the series, so like, I don't know, because I was really looking at him, especially in these glasses with his arms folded and all pensive.
When he was here and he showed up to the mall in his Michael Douglas 90s falling down white shirt and tie, I say, what are you falling down from? What are you here to do? You do not, neither one of them feel formidable, but Bret, in comparison to, I guess, Robert, naturally, he feels like the more inferior one, but I'm like, we can cut it on and you can be that way in a room with Mark. But it felt like they were only trying to do that in that moment to go, see, he's unhinged. He could go
Yeah.
either way. How do we know that he didn't do this to Mark? And he hasn't, set this whole thing up and he's actually the killer. But it's like, if you're going to be that, when it's time and when it's necessary. It feels like he's scared. Like, oh my God, please don't hurt my friends.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? Do something about it.
That's what I was saying. I was waiting for him to be formidable. Like, I'm like, okay, you're talking like, no, you're not going to get her. You're not going to get her coochie. Then what are you going to do? What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do?
No, he literally has to do something. I will be here for it. Since you love Susan so much and we've been friends since childhood, protect her. Get out there about her. Are you going to just let it happen all because, oh my God, like, I really want him to put me on my back. Are you sure? Are you sure? Now then we get over here. First of all, I say no, y'all didn't do the triple imagery in the mirror. Not three times. We got 3 personalities or no? How many? Now we have these murders happening from this trawler, and Lord beholding lo, who's shocked? Mark is the next victim. And it's very like nonchalant, like, oh my God, he got another one. Didn't you know him? I'm like, these are kids. That's also give me my satire Heather's energy. Because the way they could give a damn about them people dying over there, and it was so intentional and so funny. It's just like, well, no, we got to deliver, over the announcements in the speech. Didn't you know him? Like, did you know Mark? And it's just, this is hitting close to home. Like, at what aspect do you guys take it seriously, or do you just really not give a damn that much? But before we could even get in the house, there's just been a tape strategically left, personalized to Bret. And we cut it on, and of course we can hear and see what it is. It's the LSD, it's the beating, the assault, the eating, making him eat fish. The serial killer aspect is quite silly to me. And the tropey things that we're having him do with the animal aspect is odd. I know it's supposed to give like this end. It's a flare, mama. He said I got a flare. But make it make sense, please. Please. There's that, and of course it's just too much to take for him, and I hear it. I can almost see it. I know who this is. I have to go vomit in the sink because it's all too much. Oh, he just killed, my lover, my best friend, my everything. Mark, he matters so much to me. Oh, now I really have to dig in and figure out who this is. That's if it's not Robert, who's in my face and knows everything about me and my personal life. And didn't I just catch him talking to Mark? He probably left this tape and personalized it to me. I don't even get that. I said, Bret, if you wrote your name on that tape and set this up for you to come and find it later and personalize it to yourself to listen to your antics back and what you did to Mark, just say that. Just say that. Nothing here is drawing me to think that it's anybody other than Bret, and we're just disassociating, or he's just that deranged, or he's just that split down the middle. I really want it to be something else and something clever, but so far we are not delivering. Ashley.
He did this ish, Tyra. Like, I know he did. As soon as Matt got crunk, it was like, get out of my house. I said, oh, you're next, buddy. You're a goner. And next thing we see that fire, we see the little tape. Sorry, you gave that to yourself. You know you got a flair for the dramatic anyway. You done wrote that to yourself. You done wrote your name on it so you can go and listen to your crimes and act surprised. Come on. Now, he might have a split or an alter. Again, that's another direction they can go into. He could have dissociative identity disorder, and like this could be a thing. But come on, hurry up and be somebody. Like, this idea, this little weakling, and he's supposed to be this other thing too. Like, I want a glimpse of it. I think just in good storytelling, there are crumbs and there are puzzle pieces that as the viewer or the audience, we're putting together from the beginning, and it needs to make sense and it needs to work. And as of right now, it's just kind of falling flat for me in this respect. Like I said, still very early, but he did this mess, Tyra. I don't know what other direction. It'd be cool if one of the girls turns out to be the serial killer. Maybe Debbie, out of jealousy, and she knew and found out what was going on.
They take that. I'm like, is this just an ideal of who the murderer can be because we're getting it strictly from Bret's perspective? And of course, it's the 80s, so it's a man, and it's actually, if we have to do something to shake it up. I think that will be cool. But once you give so much away, like normally they're trying to leave it kind of ambiguous and you see the killings happening and you don't actually see who's doing it. No, we saw him like 5 minutes into, the first episode, and he's the bandit and he's masked, and it's a man, it's a tall man, so it's like Robert. But are we just fixating and making it seem like it's a man of this stature because Bret wants it to be Robert because you're the new kid and I don't trust you? If it's one of the girls, that would be fun, that would be cute, but they don't do that.
Oh, or do a Scream. Let it be a 2-man. Let it be a boy and a girl. Fine, y'all doing it. All right, come on, Susie. Cute. I don't know. Just do something, honestly, to shock the audience. That's all I'm looking for. And it doesn't have to be gross. It doesn't have to be gory. Just do something interesting with this story. Because like you said, the people who have lived and been down them 80s streets, we know how 80s is supposed to be. And it's not a hard blueprint to line up to, but you have to get the right people in it and you have to tell the right story. So I'm interested. We'll see, Tyra girl, but as of right now, all bets are on Bret. He's doing this stuff himself.
I can't even bet on Bret. Like, this feels like Campfire Tales. This feels like somebody's fiction. It feels.
Are you afraid of the dark?
It does. It feels like some high schooler. Yeah, and then the killer enters the house, and then he snatched her up. He made her eat fish, and then he cut her titties off and sewed kitten heads on top. Like, it sounds fake, and it's like we can't be in the delusion with you if we know it's a delusion right away. Like, even if he is writing the book,
Well, I mean, so like if we go back though to the groundwork and to the source material and the Bret Ellis guy, he's written really good stories. So he's capable of writing a story, and depending on how closely Ryan stuck to the adaptation or took liberties, it'll be interesting to see. But I'm trying to have some faith in the storytelling, because as much as I personally didn't necessarily like Less Than Zero in terms of just how bleak it was, I really do think he wrote some really interesting characters, right? So I'm hoping we're gonna get some of that at some point. Like I hope.
I think as much Less Than Zero, they say, yeah, you remember that scene from Less Than Zero where Robert was over there getting hit off of that pipe and all those TVs were in the back? Ryan said, yeah, make it enough. Do that. He said, yes, babe, love it. Scenery. I want my MTV.
If you don't get Rex Manning Day out of here, video killed the radio. I said, okay, we're in Empire Records now. All right, Ryan, whatever. Just get to the point.
It's just all references. It's just a whole bunch of references in a show. And it's like, where's your identity in the show outside of it? It's the 80s, right? Remember that time? Remember when? Yeah, we remember. We enjoy it. We get it so much. If a movie or a show not gonna go back to the 80s, they're not gonna do nothing else. But make it interesting. Make it enough, honey bunching. Predictions? I don't know. I predict they're gonna piss me off. I predict that Ryan is going to piss me off. It seems like he just forgot how to write television. I'm so sorry. He needs some help. If we don't make something shake and we move in a completely different direction to where I'm like, oh, okay, well, hell, I really didn't expect that, and there's some shock and awe of it all. If it's still just cat and mouse and buddy booty bantering between him and Robert, you can have it. I don't know. Predictions, Ashley?
Girl, I ain't got none. I really don't know what I think this is like succumbing to, and which I don't feel like Ryan needs to. Ryan has created a name for himself, and we know he's capable of good storytelling. Like, I think a lot of people like acquiesce to what they believe like a perceived audience wants to see or hear. But I hope he pulls it through. Ryan, like, as much as we talk about Ryan Murphy and his projects, he gives us a lot to consume. But his original pieces that he put out, I felt were really strong. Like, I can't say anything wrong about a Nip Tuck. I can't say anything wrong about the original days of a lot of his shows. So I'm just holding out hope. I really don't know. Hopefully we get to see a more formidable side of Bret. That's probably my only ask. If he's supposed to be our lead, our protagonist, all of those things, like, I want more from his character. Like, come on, buddy. But yeah, I predict Bret and Robert will have a little, oh yeah. We know we got to get there, unless he's a mirror of himself. But I don't know. Some people are freaky like that, Danny, and he might want to be with himself while one of his friends narrowly escapes from the unaliver. I don't know, girl. Did we lose Tyra? Did she dip out? But yeah, Susan would be cool. That would be cool if Susan and her little no talking boyfriend would do something. Like maybe they got inducted into some cult and now they're doing the things. Oh, Child Sean, don't remind me of Robert Downey Jr., honey, and being pimped out by that man. Are you like it's just your picture showing, boo. It's just your, oop, now you're gone. Please hold. Tyra's coming back, y'all. I predict Bret and Robert. Hello? You're back on the screen now, but we can't see your face or hear you. At least I can't. Can y'all see Tyra or hear Tyra? I just see her her avatar. But yeah, guys, don't forget Tyra. I think immediately following this live, we'll be doing the wrap up of Raising Canaan. So be sure to go and support that live. Y'all know y'all be in there 2-3 hours talking about Raising Canaan. So make sure you're there for that. Tyra?
Yeah, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now at least.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, but y'all heard the woman put the money in the bag. I will be back shortly to talk about all things Raising Canaan. Y'all, the show is finally over, and we have to talk about all the missteps and misgivings over there. If y'all want more of the Shards, I can't for the life of me would understand why you would. Be sure to hit that like button and leave some comments down below as far as your predictions for the show and what you want more of. But Ashley, anything you want to share with the people before we go?
Be on the lookout. I got content coming for Furious. I'm going to do a quick catch up on that one. Yeah, be on the lookout for some stuff. I'm going to have some stuff in the pike, in the tuck that's coming up this upcoming week. So just make sure you're there. Make sure you're subscribed, engage with the content when it comes out and all of those things. Yeah, and make suggestions. If y'all have any suggestions of any things you want us to go back to, not necessarily new shows, but maybe some older shows that you think people would want to come and talk about that we never got to talk about, drop it in the chat. We are open to all suggestions, so let us know. But thank y'all.
Definitely. Y'all heard what she said. I will be back at 6:15, all about Raising Canaan. Y'all be there for that because we got a whole packed show. I think I have 500 slides. Don't miss that. But thank you guys for coming through and supporting us with the Shards. We will definitely be back with more content at a later date. But y'all have a good night, and I will see y'all shortly. Good night, y'all.
I'm not your friend or anything. Damn, you think that you're the man. I think therefore I am.